bush plane was there to greet us. It was about 100 degrees on the plane, and we were all so tight. When we landed, our guide Kane was there to meet us. He loaded our gear into the Land Cruiser, and we headed straight into the bush to find game. Within minutes of departing the airstrip, we saw impala, giraffe, elephant, and more. After only 20 minutes in Celinda, we were face to face with a huge male lion who had killed a Cape buffalo and a baby elephant earlier that day. And immediately after that, we came upon a mother and daughter leopards who were feeding on an impala. We realized how special and truly amazing this journey was going to be.
Botswana is a country located in southern Africa. It is bordered by Angola and Zambia to the north, Namibia to the west, South Africa to the south, and Zimbabwe to the east. Botswana was a protectorate of the United Kingdom and ultimately declared its independence in 1966. The current population is a little over 2 million people, with the capital of Gaborone as the most populated city. Botswana has a very stable democratic system and economy that is supported mainly by diamond mining, tourism, and agriculture. The country is very flat, and up to 70% is covered by the Kalahari Desert. The Celinda Spillway is located to the northeast of the Okavango Delta. The Celinda Spillway fills each year from the flooding of the Kavango and Linyanti rivers, with the waters receding gradually during the dry season. This richly diverse ecosystem is characterized by lush grasslands, expansive lagoons, and dense bush, which provides cover for many types of game. Life at Explorers Camp was luxurious. The spacious tents that were set along the flow of the spillway were inviting and comfortable. Afternoons were spent relaxing, enjoying high tea, and watching a variety of game move through the camp. We spent mornings and evenings on exciting game drives.
Uyathena wena usulapho lilizela mlilizeli lilizela ngane yaAfrika yashosholoza inqola emasonto yashosholoza inqola yeAfrika yashosholoza isitimela samalahle shosholoza
Every day, to escape the midday heat, Kane and Dollar would take us swimming in the Celinda Spillway. The dark water made us all very nervous, knowing how many crocs and hippos inhabited the other parts of the water. But Kane and Dollar would scope the area and assure us it was safe to swim. We had fun making contests and playing the touch, which is similar to the American game of tag.
The dung spitting contest was fun. This is a game that many children play in the African bush. Our guide Kane said that we had to spit giraffe dung across the line he made. We learned that giraffe's digestive system is so effective that there is almost nothing left in the dung, so we didn't mind putting it in our mouths. My dad spit the dung the farthest.
Who let the dogs out? Who let the dogs out? fellas start the name calling. And the girls respond to the call. I hear a poor one shout out, who let the dogs out?
The Celinda Spillway was special in many ways, but perhaps the most extraordinary of all were our amazing encounters with the wild dogs. Wild dogs are threatened with extinction due to loss of habitat and disease, with only an estimated 3,000 left in the wild. But to observe this healthy pack of 5 adults and their new litter of 6 pups in close proximity was truly inspiring. We spent the majority of our time in Celinda watching these amazing sociable animals while they interacted with each other and hunted as a pack. One evening, we witnessed this hunting up close as the wild dogs zeroed in on 3 warthogs nearby. We watched as the dogs laid their ears back and began to fall into formation. Unfortunately for the wild dogs, after a chaotic chase, the warthogs managed to flee to their nearby burrow, and the dogs were then chased off by a herd of wildebeest. But not long after, the wild dogs were in hot pursuit of an impala, which panicked and plunged straight into the nearby lagoon. Immediately, we watched as an enormous crocodile keyed in on this vulnerable prey. After only seconds, the crocodile seized the impala and pulled her under. The wild dogs watched in dismay as their dinner was stolen by a competitor. We were all humbled and in awe of the power of Mother Nature. We never did see the wild dogs make a kill, but their 80% success rate at hunting makes them one of the most efficient predators in Africa. We couldn't help but worry for the future of this magnificent species, but feel so fortunate to have observed them in the wild firsthand.
I got that.
Bye, Celinda.
The Magadi Pan is one of the largest salt flats in the world and is what remains of a huge prehistoric lake that was once bigger than Switzerland. The pan is southeast of the Okavango Delta and is surrounded by the sands of the Kalahari Desert. During the annual rains, the pan fills with water, bringing to life vegetation and small shrimp, inviting a variety of game and bird life to move in and take advantage of this short-term food source. However, during the long, dry, hot season, the Magadi Pans looks like a wide open and empty moonscape and is often called the Great Nothing.
Upon arrival, we were taken out to ATV across the Great Nothing to watch the sun set and take optical illusion pictures. As your heart shows only time. Our guide instructed us to walk in opposite directions and sit by ourselves in the intense silence for 10 minutes. The silence was deafening. We were then surprised with dinner and comfortable beds set out in the pan for what was a surreal and unforgettable night in the desert. We had wonderful tents and beds back at Camp Kalahari, where we were treated to delicious meals with our new international friends.
We had a unique encounter with a clan of meerkats that had become habituated to humans. The rule was, they could touch us, but we couldn't touch them.
Who can say when the roads meet that love might be in your heart? And who can say when the day sleeps if the night keeps all your heart?
We watched with fascination as they dug up different kinds of insects to feed their young and themselves.
We also had the opportunity to spend an afternoon with the San people of the Kalahari. The San, also known as Bushmen, are the original inhabitants of southern Africa and are one of 14 known ancestral population clusters from which all humankind descended. They were a traditional hunter-gatherer people, but since the 1950s, many have turned to a more modern way of life. We watched them dig up plants and insects which they use to make medicine, food, and poison for their arrow tips. The San also showed us how to make a fire by rubbing two small sticks together. What you are doing is creating friction, which creates hot ash. Then you put dried zebra dung in the middle of a nest of dry grass and small sticks, and you pour the ash into the nest below and blow. The San communicates with a click language. Now means go. No. The San culture is also at risk of becoming extinct. Hunting in Botswana has recently been outlawed, which will seriously hurt their way of life. They have also had much of their land taken away.
Tomorrow
is the neighboring country to the east of Botswana. The population is 12,620,000, with most residing in the capital of Harare. In 1965, Zimbabwe was an unrecognized, unofficial state called Rhodesia until 1980 when it gained its freedom from the United Kingdom. Robert Mugabe is Zimbabwe's almost 90-year-old president, who many people view as a dictator. He has caused many problems for Zimbabwe. Mana Pools is a beautiful national park on the northern border of the country on the banks of the Zambezi River. The ecosystem is characterized by the lush river valley vegetation that attracts large herds of game, many predators, and countless species of birds.
We spent our time in Mana Pools with our dear friends, the Stevens family, staying at Sarah and Milo's wonderful camp with the Mana Pools Safari Company. John Stevens' knowledge and energy as our guide was second to none.
Animal tracking on foot was one of the highlights of being with John Stevens in Mana Pools. He taught us how to identify many different spoor, which is another name for tracks. He showed us how to determine how fresh a track was by looking to see if the wind had weathered the track or whether other footprints had crossed over it. Tracking the lions and leopards for hours on foot was the most exhilarating. You can imagine our amazement when we would come upon these magnificent predators after hours of patience and determination. Our hearts were racing.
Every day I would help out in the kitchen tent in Mana. There was such a joy in that tent, and it was really a happy place to be. I would talk to the local Zimbabweans and learn about their culture. I would also help Tawanda and Privy bake all the pies, scones, and breads for pudding and tea. It was such an amazing experience, and I will never forget it.
Several afternoons after hot game drives, we would spend on the shores of the Zambezi River, swimming and fishing for bream, which are like bluegill in the United States. We would then cook them up for tasty hors d'oeuvres before dinner.
Victoria Falls is a waterfall on the border of Zimbabwe and Zambia that was discovered in 1855 by David Livingstone, a British explorer and missionary. The natives knew of its existence for thousands of years and called it Mosi Oa Tunya, the smoke that thunders. The falls is at an elevation of 2,904 feet and is formed where the Zambezi River cascades off a crack in the basalt rock plateau. Victoria Falls is considered the largest curtain of water in the world. The falls is 355 feet high and the flow rate of water is 38,000 cubic feet per second.
We tried many exotic foods, such as crocodile, warthog, and mopani worms. We also had fun participating in traditional African drumming and dancing. We witnessed our final African sunset.
Experiencing Africa firsthand is one of the most extraordinary moments I have ever had the privilege to have. Witnessing the power of Mother Nature in full force was so humbling, and I realized just how fragile life is and how special these few places are.
Knowing that these landscapes and animals are disappearing, and mostly due to human activity, saddens me. There is immense beauty and balance to these places that we can all learn from to make our own lives more meaningful.
I can bring my own children on a journey such as this, and that they will see and feel the Africa that we did. But humans will need to change their habits to make sure that that kind of future is possible. I'm up to the challenge, believe me. Africa is worth saving.
Hear the drums echoing tonight, and she hears only whispers of some quiet conversation. She's coming in 12:30 flight. The moonlit wings reflect the stars that guide me towards salvation. I stopped an old man along the way, hoping to find some old forgotten words or ancient melodies. as if to say, hurry boy, it's waiting there for you. It's gonna take a lot to drag me away from you. There's nothing that 100 men or more could ever do. I bless the rains down in Africa. Gonna take some time to do the things we never we killed them. Watch this. I know that I must do what's right.
Or I'm going to slap you. Got it?
Got it. Deep inside, frightened of this thing that I've become.